So for us on Fatal Attraction, we tried to pay respect to two different worlds, right? There was a past and a present. We played our past warmer and we shot that on G speed anamorphics and tried to stay wider with a lot of our frames and lens choices. Whereas for the present, played things a lot cooler and we shot that on pentaspeeds and then, tried to play it a lot tighter, if you will. So we tried to have two different feels, two different vibes, two different tones for the different time periods. So you can be like, okay, this is definitely the past, because the story is cut so often between the past and present. Sometimes it can be hard for the viewer to keep up, like, wait, is this 12 years ago, 20 years ago, or is this present? Oh, okay. So different things like that we tried to achieve so visually the viewer can tie into, what timeline it is. Prior to us showing up to film, there was asbestos. And as soon as they proclaimed it safe for us to work, they brought us in. But they told us, you cannot touch the ceiling for any of the offices. In the wides, that's where you hide your lights. On the day when you punch in the nice tights, you could bring lights in on the floor. But for wides, typically they're motivated from up high. And especially because there were so many windows in the offices that we were seeing out into downtown LA, peak day. Our good friends ended up helping us out. They made pre-cuts of ND gels that took 4, sometimes 6 stops of light. Our LEDs could be a lot more prominent inside. So since we weren't able to get up inside the tile and be able to put light mats or anything overhead, we had to capitalize on the fixtures and just pop in the magnetic LED tubes. So we use Helios, Astera product, Titans, and we would billow them with diffusion right to the top of frame and just create a base, if you will, so we can compete with what's going on outside. So in episode 1, we had the scene and we had 5, 6 characters sitting down at a table. It was a flashback, so we made sure we played things warmer. But for me, when I saw this on the Scout, one of the things that we made sure we did was put a grid over the table. So we had the capability to put a light anywhere for any wides, because for restaurants like this, you want to capitalize on the architecture, you want to capitalize on the environment, all the people within the restaurant, and be able to maximize your scene, at least in a wide. So we had to make sure that we motivated from up top so we could keep it practical. So for me, I want to make sure that I have all the tools in the right places. So for each character, I want to have a soft backlight, and then I want to have a key at some point in time. This was a location dominant show, and we definitely had our fair share of night exteriors at golf courses, at courthouses, at parks with lakes, driving scenes and stuff like that. So we definitely had our share of bigger setups where we had times with 4 condors out, big lights, crews of 10 to 12 guys out in order to achieve this. And for me, it just comes down to communication, right? So one of the things that helped me out tremendously on Fatal Attraction was the help of Tim Durr, my rig gaffer. Him and I would sit down after going on scouts, drop plots, and understand our plan of attack for sets, stage, and actual practical location. And him and his crew always were top notch. Honestly, it's the best thing in the world to be able to have somebody, a rig gaffer, to, make sure they have your back and having everything technically sound and up and running, which made our job easier for storytelling and on the day of, as far as efficiency and whatnot.